So I don't know about you guys, but I've done a lot of videos in the past, and man, got school tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? School's not gonna go good for me. Every time I go there, school sucks. And honestly, I can't get over the fact that things have to go badly here. Why is Thurgood Marshall so bad? I don't know, go ask yourself that. But the point I want to make is Thurgood Marshall really that bad? Yes! Go to Dane Public Schools, stay there for an entire year, and see what you think. Because Thurgood Marshall is absolutely trash. Especially when it comes to the kids fighting. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not really a bad school when it comes to the food. But man, does the teachers do anything? Nah, they don't. Teachers there want to go, stop fighting, but they don't even stop it in time because the kids just fight quickly, beat the crap out of someone, and they can't do nothing. This year, though, they've been a little more strict, and that's the part I don't like. New kids, newcomers, this year has just been bad, bruh. This year's been worse than I thought. Who even likes this school? Hey, guys, you wanna litter this fucking school? Go right ahead, because they ain't gonna give a shit. So, because if I was the one who used this Sharpie drill on the ground, they'll just suspend me for 3 days or a week and that's it. That's the pussy move. They can't do nothing? What is up with that? This school, man, it's just going to the trash. Well, I wasn't expecting that. But listen, the point I want to make is, even so, classes are boring. They make it boring. They take away your phones. What are you supposed to do about it? You have to react to kids. That's the only choice you have. Kids here have problems. But one of the things I hate about this school the most is the racist crap. The racist BS. You hear that, guys? The racist BS they be doing to white boys. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be hypocritical, but what I'm trying to say is that this school needs to go down in the grinder. Because let me tell you something. What grinds my gears is that this school needs a makeover. This school gotta be clean. But they don't want to clean the floors either. In the gym, when I go in there, it's a mess in there. They think that they can clean the school, but when you see the guards coming inside the school and you see them cleaning, they do a sucky job and kids just make a mess all over again. It just gets worse. Because then all of a sudden, sometime along in the classes, they stink. They stink like doo-doo. Who wants to be in those classes at all? Let's be honest. Who likes Thurgood Marshall? Listen, alright? I'll tell you a story what happened just last week. I got suspended on Wednesday. You want to know the real reason? Well, let me explain in just about 2 minutes. Okay, listen, I don't think it's going to be 2 minutes. I think it's going to be longer than that, but let me explain. So I might want to tell the truth right now. It actually took almost 3 weeks ago. I think it took place when I was on Instagram or something. There was this kid named Ronnie. Me and him were friends. But then I messed with him a little bit. I told him just leave me alone. I'm trying to work on some videos right now or music or something. And he just starts getting mad. And I tell him, okay, listen, don't want to be bothered. I'll see you tomorrow. He says, what do you mean by that? Like an idiot. So I tell him, okay, listen, bro. I'll see you tomorrow at school. And he goes we go fight. And then I told him leave me the fuck alone. That's what I told him. And he just I think I switched that around a little bit. I kind of forgot what happened, guys, to be honest with you, but let's break it down a little more. So, anyways, the next morning rises. I wake up, I have to be waking up to school. I go to school. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, I just go into Mr. Warner's class, skip breakfast because of how crappy the breakfast is getting. And I just sat there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Then Ronnie goes over here and does this. And I look over here and say, I just gave him no face, didn't say nothing. I was just sitting here peacefully like this. And then all of a sudden, this is what happened. I look over, and then all of a sudden, this is what happened. He goes over here and goes like this. And that little squirm that looks like a 5th grader that is literally in 10th grade thinks he can fight me. Bro, that little boy, Ronnie, Nah, bro, he ain't gonna fight me. Honestly, to tell you the truth, he ain't gonna fight me at all. Kids aren't scared of him at school. So what happens next is that all day, he's been trying to bother me. And during lunch, he tells me, go in the bathroom, meet me in the bathroom. And he wanted to beat me up in there. I told him no. So he just walks away and goes to his stupid old friends of his. I just sat there for like, for the rest of the period. I didn't even bother him. Teachers thought they could hit him up, but oh god, bro. Just waiting to see what happens like the next like week and a half. So this is when the madness starts. Me and Ronnie, he goes back as always. I was just joking with him, called him Big Chungus, say, hey, look, that's you. You're Big Chungus. And I was just joking because I thought he would joke with me too, because we were back to being friends. But things go wrong from there, because then all of a sudden he goes over and tells me like, you better get the fuck away from me before we start fighting. And I tell him, and I just go like this, and I go this, because I told him, because I like that means like I just don't give a fuck, and I just told him like, forget you. So basically, I just sit there, he looks at me, I look at him with a death stare, and kids start laughing like idiots, as usual, because Thurgood Marshall, they laugh like idiots, because, I'm white and stuff like that, and they're racist as hell. But yeah, so I just walk away, Ronnie sits there, all the freaking time, just okay, I have no idea what I just said right there, I just said the most weirdest thing, but yeah, so I walk away from him, and then all of a sudden, we go to gym, right? Later in gym happens, and before that though, I was going to B lunch. Ronnie over here goes and starts like looking at me, says, "What the fuck you looking at, cuz?" Like a little bitch, and I tell him, "What you gonna do, pussy?" And then all of a sudden he goes like this, he goes like a little swarm, and I tell him. And I wasn't fucking scared, because you think I can handle these kids' punches? Yeah, I can, because he's a fucking pussy. He ain't gonna fight as hard as I thought. He can punch, he can scream, but he ain't got the biggest punches ever. He's a pussy. So, thing is, when gym happened, I just go in gym, and then all of a sudden, Ronnie wanted to fuck with me, so then all of a sudden, I go over, and I tell him, what the fuck you gonna do? He starts walking over to me, and says like, fight me then, cuz, fight me then. And I tell that little bitch, I just said, I'm not gonna fight you unless you fight me first. Everyone's all of a sudden, about like 2 or 3 minutes into that argument, kids started going after us. Well, not going after us, they just started grouping and pairing. They took away Ronnie. I got seriously mad because he ripped my coat after. So I literally punched him right in the fucking face. But before I could do that, the kids took me away from him. I started running Mr. Coach Wolf, and, Dr. Jones started backing me away from him. And they couldn't do shit because I was stronger than their ass. I was going to go after him. But then I realized, man, I'm fucking tired. I'm running so much, I can't fucking run no more. So then all of a sudden, right? Started running after him, and then his dumbass cousin out of nowhere just makes me flip in the air. I didn't even know that was cousin until the next day or two, when I called Faith on Instagram and I told her, hey, who was that guy? And she goes, that's Ronnie's cousin. So I go, oh yeah, alright, okay, so he's an asshole, alright. So then all of a sudden I just moved to the plan, and he flipped me in the air and told me, and I was trying to do this, but then all of a sudden he goes over and says, I wish you would, cuz, with the biggest fucking attitude I've ever heard of. So yeah, I mean, I didn't win that one. I ended up, getting restrained by the teachers, and eventually I ran out of the school, and then all of a sudden I punched Coach Glove because I kind of know it's messed up, but thing is, he wanted to fucking touch me because apparently he wanted me to go back in the goddamn school. And you think I'll go back? No, I was fucking frightened by his cousin. Even though I really wasn't, I was fucking pissed and crying too, in tears, because apparently no one gave a shit in the school. So I just walk out there, and then all of a sudden, I just walk away. I told him no one fucking cares of me. I started crying in tears, and then I just walked around. William ended up picking up me, and then he's, going back to IP class, which kind of sucks ass. And I don't know, I mean, IP class sounds better than anything else, because really, who wants to go to a normal class with a bunch of shitheads? There's better schools than this fucking bullshit. I've been to Logan Elm, and honestly, that school is way fucking better than this shithole school. Like, this school has way too many fucking fights, and honestly, they want to start shitting me because I'm white. Well, they can go to hell for that. So, there's the story I have for you guys. And yes, it's confirmed. Thurgood Marshall is ass, so Peace